since a kid, mate. I've been watching Eddie Hearn for years, and now I'm signed by him. It's just a blessing, man. Like,
yeah, good on you, lad.
I'll be honest with you, man. I feel like I beat everyone in the country at my weight, and in the world right now. I know a couple more fights, and I feel like I beat everyone in the world as well.
Shabby, how are you getting on, bro? You well?
I'm good, thank you, mate. How are you, man? Long time.
Hey, mate, we've known each other too long, to be fair. We're
I've
far
known
too
you since I've
comfortable.
been about 7, 8 years old.
I remember you. Well, I was like, I must have been about 19, 20.
Yeah.
And I'm 36 now. Do you know what I mean? So me and Shabaz go way back. We shared a gym together. And even when he was that kind of age, 7, 8, 9 years old, you could tell that he was special. You could tell that he had something a little bit different about him compared
He's a
to
maverick.
yeah, you were just different, and you were flashy even when you were so young. So it's brilliant to have you on the show, especially being a local lad. It's great to see. But forget local lad or not, Shabaz. Fantastic news, absolutely unbelievable news. You've now been signed by Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. How are you feeling about it? I mean, you must be absolutely buzzing.
Yeah, I'm buzzing, man. I feel like it's been a long time coming. I feel like I always knew this day would come. You know what I mean? I always knew it'd come. I just didn't know when, but went through a lot of struggles, man. A lot of setbacks in terms of a lot of the politics, especially within boxing, and it was hard to get the fights as well. But now I'm Eddie Hearn, and just time to go in it.
So, I mean, it's an incredible achievement anyway. I think that's what people dream of being signed by. He's arguably the biggest promoter in the world.
Oh, 100%.
So what's been like, obviously, I'm not talking financials here, but what's kind of been promised to you in your agreement from Eddie? Has he offered you, potential shots at titles? What is it you've been offered?
Well, the reason I did sign with Eddie was because ultimately my goal's always been from a kid is to be a world champion. With the WBA, I'm ranked number 3 or 4 right now. So, and in on BoxRec, I'm top 15 in the world as well. So, I know Eddie can get me the right fights at the right time. I need a little bit more experience, 1, 2 more fights, and I feel like I'm ready for a world title. Just a few more tests. Like, I'm ranked so highly, and I've only had 11 fights, and obviously I'm ranked so highly because I beat good opposition and I've took the right steps at the right time, but I still need to get them experience. Like, I feel like I've been in gear 1 and 2 through my fights.
Yeah,
I need some more tests. I've got a lot more to show, man. Got a lot.
Very mature of you, Shabby. Very, very immature. Because I mean, I'm not comparing. It'd be rude to compare. But look what happened to Lomachenko in his first couple of fights, and obviously he's probably the best amateur ever. But still, I'm saying it because you are moving so fast. Because again, you were a great amateur. But Lomachenko lost his first or second fight.
He lost his first against Orlando. No,
Salido was it?
Secondly, I think it was Orlando Salido.
Yeah. Which, I mean, he's not the greatest fighter in the world, but he didn't have that experience as a professional. So I think that's quite, mature of you, to be honest.
I know the game. And I do know one thing, and that's when I do get to world level, I don't want to be coming back. I want to get there. I want to stay there. And if anything, move on.
Okay. I like it. And who wants to go backwards? There's only one way once you've done that. So I'm with you. So your career has been very stop-start. Since you've been professional, you've been with Queensbury, you've been with MTK, if I remember rightly, you've been with a number of different promoters. Why do you feel that this will be different than being with the likes of Frank or being with the likes of MTK?
So, firstly, at the start, like, I started on small hall shows, so a lot of these boys now turn over, they're getting straight away, they're getting Frank Warren contracts, Matchroom contracts. I started on small hall shows, fighting in King's Hall and like places in Manchester, like Middleton, and like I was fighting on small hall shows, building my way up. So I built up to 5-0 I was, and then I signed with Frank at that time, and I had 2 under Frank Warren, and then COVID came. So when COVID came about, I didn't really get fights, and then there were a few little things that happened behind the scenes where favors were done elsewhere. So I couldn't really progress for myself. But it was a blessing in disguise because we got out the contract, and at that time I was with MTK. With MTK after a 16-month layoff, which I was in the gym through that 16-month layoff of COVID. I was in the gym for 15 months, and even when it was lockdown and everyone was at home, me and my dad was training. You know, my dad's always trained me for years as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my dad was just training me, and I've never really had a break. I just carried on going, and after 16 months, I got back in the ring straight away. I boxed Louis Norman, and then straight away after him, I went and boxed Ruiz, who went and got he just stopped Gamaliel fight, and he was ranked number 13 with the WBA at the time. So I beat him, and then straight away I beat a former world champion who boxed Inoue. He's only ever been stopped once, and that was by Inoue. He won 43, lost 6, former European champion. I knocked him out quicker than Inoue in the second round, and then I needed a big domestic fight, and thankfully Jack Bateson took the fight. A lot of the boys were shy, man, so he's took the fight, and I got to show my skills.
It leads perfectly on to my next question then. So there's a couple of really high ranked domestic fighters in your division, the likes of a good friend of mine, Liam Davis, and then you've got Lee McGregor, who again, the Scottish lad who's
my stablemate, man, Lee.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, obviously, these fights are certainly going to get you up the rankings very fast. So are these fights that you're potentially looking at next?
Liam Davis, 100%. I feel like we know each other very well. Firstly, we grew up around each other. We boxed twice. I've come out on top twice. This was as an amateur, but amateurs don't mean nothing. The fighters he's beat, I think I'd beat. And I'll be honest with you, man. I feel like I beat everyone in the country at my weight. And in the world right now, I know a couple more fights, and I feel like I beat everyone in the world as well.
Yeah. So do you feel then, you're kind of past British level? Do you feel you've kind of bypassed that and you're past that now?
That's the thing, because I'm ranked so high. And I feel like my skill set as well, like I feel like I'm past domestic level now, but it's always somewhat like it's always there if you want it, you know what I mean? But it's not really something like I've always dreamed of. I've dreamed of being a world champion and a multi-weight world champion, and that's what I really want. Okay,
that was a question I was going to ask you, to be honest, Shabby. So I can't imagine you've never been one just to sit there and say, that's me done. You've never been like that. You've never sat still, have you? That's just the way you are, person you are. Yeah. So, do you feel that your skill set and your power, do you feel that you've got enough to go through the weights?
100%, man. You know what the thing is as well? If you look at my frame for a super bantam, I'm really big. I'm very tall for it, and I've filled out as well now. And I know I'll probably win a world title at it. And then as I'm growing and developing, because I always think as soon as my fights finish on a Friday or a Saturday night, I finish. Guess what? On the Monday morning, I'm in the weights room again. I'm building my strength again, and I'm back in the boxing club. I'm just trying to develop every single fight, and I know the way I'm developing and filling out, I won't be at this weight for years to come. I'll be here for about 2 years, 3 years, but there'll come a point where my body's outgrowing me, and you have to be smart at that time and then move up. But for now, I'm making the weight comfortable, and I'm a lot bigger at the weight now as well. So I am sticking at super bantam. To be honest with you, I'm trained by Ben Davison, and Ben Davison is my manager as well. So Ben knows, and I know that as soon as my fights are done, I'm straight back in the gym. I'm a student of the game. There's not a day goes by where I'm not thinking, eating, sleeping, boxing. Boxing is my life. I love the game. I don't just do it for financial reasons. I genuinely love this game. You know yourself, when I was 7, 8 years old in that gym when we were together, I used to always love the game, and that's what it's about for me. Just staying in love with the game and just trying to be a student.
I honestly remember you would. I even remember where you were standing when you were doing the polo shot. Yeah, I remember you doing all that.
Do you remember when we were sparring? Like we used to go to sparring camps, like Manchester and Macclesfield and places.
You used to have. Was it a pair of gloves or boots or something?
Go sparring.
Yeah, but what didn't you have like a pair of like jazzy coloured boots or gloves or something. Am I right? I think
the cheetah skin gloves.
Yeah, no way.
After Prince Nassim, I used to have them.
Time, I tell you. A quick one for you, Shabby. So Ben Davison, of course, your manager, of course, the trainer, he's done great things in boxing.
Yeah.
Still, but still do believe he's going to do much, much more. And good on him.
The stable that's coming through now, myself, Pat McCormack, Lee Wood, world champion,
fighter. Yeah.
Lee McGregor, Will Coley's coming through. There's Chris Congo's there. Like, there's just the stable. He works with Fabio Wardley too. Like, I genuinely see just our stable alone. There should be 3-4 more world champions within the next couple of years. 3-4 years.
Question I've got for you, Shabby, is what does Ben Davison bring to the table? Because what I've heard from other fighters is that he's very good working with the fighter and working with the mind of the fighter. I mean, I don't know if that's right or not, but it'd be nice to hear what he's really like.
He breaks boxing down. I've been to so many coaches. I've been to many amateur gyms, professional gyms. The only ever coach which I've learned every single session off is Ben Davison and Lee Wiley. And Lee Wiley's another guy, if many people have not heard of him, but he's a boxing analyst. He owns a channel on YouTube, Wiley's Boxing Art and Science. You might have seen his videos. We study opponents and we go in there with the game plan, which is spot on.
Okay.
And alhamdulillah, we get it right.
Lee Wood didn't have a bad game plan, did he?
No.
Lee Wood had a bad game plan the other day, so good on him.
Even his first fight against Lara, he was winning the fight. I think he was cruising the fight. He got a bit laxy-daisy because it was a bit too easy for him, but he just needed to stay switched on. But got it right.
He's got that equalizer, He can detonate that at any point, that Thor's hammer. So you can't blame him. Going back to the fans, hi Shabaz, fantastic talent, entertaining, puts bums and seats, and a future world champion in the making. Surely a promoter couldn't ask for anything more. Cheers, Les. Which begs the question of why has there been several promoters through such a short career of yours? Thank you for your time this evening. The very best of luck and stay safe. I mean, if you could shed a bit of light on that, why do you feel there's been loads of different promoters?
So originally I was with Frank Warren. And the thing was, he's a good promoter and stuff, but it just wasn't right for me at that time. It just wasn't right. There was a few little things happening. I don't want to really go into details, but it just wasn't right for me at that time. And I had to go to MTK. So then I was with MTK and obviously everything ended up happening and they ended up closing down. I can't really speak too much about it, but
it's fine.
It is what it is. And then I had signed a deal with Pro Bellum, but it just weren't meant to work out, man. I just feel like time is everything. But now this thing with a lot of Pro Bellum fighters, I've gone to Eddie Hearn because Pro Bellum had a lot of talent.
They did. What happened there? They seem to have gone massive. I wouldn't even say massive, but they did pretty well, and then they just disappeared.
I don't know myself, mate. I'll genuinely be honest with you. That's why I don't want to even comment on the situation. But look, since a kid, mate, I've been watching Eddie Hearn for years, and now I'm signed by him. It's just a blessing, man.
Good on you, lad.
And timing's a big thing as well, Dan. You got to understand. Not just in boxing, people say timing is everything. It's not just about the boxing or the punches involved, the timing of the punch or the timing of landing the shot.
Yeah.
It's the timing of the right fight, the right time, and the right move at the right time. This, for me, promotionally wise, was the right time.
I mean, Eddie's an absolute master of putting people where he wants to put people.
Genius, isn't he?
Absolutely, mate. Linda Platt from over the other side of the world. I like Shabaz. He's humble and well-spoken. Linda Platt was on the show last week. She's actually the first ever female boxing photographer. So she was photographer for Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Robinson and all them. It's very, very cool lady. Dean Burrows, when is your next fight and who you're fighting? You probably won't know who you're fighting, will you? But do you know what's next?
To be honest with you, we've had some names. I'm fighting this scene around September time. I have had some names and they're all top 30 guys. So I'll be honest with you, I had an interview early on this week on my press conference with Matchroom, and people are saying, "Oh, would you be coming back for a tune-up because you haven't fought since November?" And I said, "Look, tune-ups are for people who are not in the gym. I'm in the gym. I don't want no tune-ups. I want to straight away go and defend my belt, my WBA Intercontinental, straight away defend that, get some more experience down. And I don't want to fight idiots. I'm not in this game to fight idiots. I want good fights, and I want to show my level.
I love it. Paul Humphrey said, absolutely crazy dedicated.
Again,
Paul's top lad. Shabaz shot selection is ridiculous. So excited about him. That's one of your best traits, if you ask me. You've then got some coming in for you from Clinton Ridley. Said, if anyone can get you into position for a world title, it's definitely Ed. Yeah, 100%. You're 100% right there. And Dean Beddoes, will your next fight be in the UK? Will he be in the UK, do you reckon?
Yeah, it'll be in UK. Hopefully, I'm hoping get the next one or the next two in UK. I'm a big ticket seller as well. Last few fights in UK, I've done 600-700 tickets each time as well. So I want it to be in UK. I get a bit more of a buzz, man. You get a bit more of I like a bit of showboating for the fans as well. So hopefully it is UK, but we're talking America as well. But let's see what the crack is.